Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonatti, your host, Kimberly Brummel.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today. This afternoon, I'm Kimberly Brummel. I'm joined by executive producer of AM Tampa Bay, Ethan Euchre.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thanks for being here. And our co-host, Jeff Wagstaff.
Howdy, howdy.
And across from me, we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonatti of the Bonati Spine Institute.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Well, we know that when it comes to choosing a spine surgeon, the search is daunting because the choice can affect your entire life. The one question you have to keep in the forefront of your mind is, would you rather go to the institute that created, patented, perfected, and continues to pave the way in these procedures, or the ones who proclaim to copy them? Do it right the first time. Dr. Bonatti and the Bonati Spine Institute made medical history, advancing medicine, and changed spine surgery forever. Dr. Bonatti is the man behind these highly effective and exclusive Bonatti spine procedures. Without Dr. Bonatti's contribution to medicine, there would be no alternative today to those highly invasive open spine surgeries. You don't have to be the one of the many patients that we have helped that underwent previous failed spine surgeries from other facilities. There is hope. Bonatti just gets better and better. The success rate in the recent 5-year search talks about our patient-reported success rate being at 98.75%. Bonatti succeeds where others have failed. On today's show, we have Atlanta physician Dr. Elaina George. I hope I pronounced that right. But
you did.
She prescribes the cure for an ailing Obamacare. Then we'll hear about what's new in American medicine today and check in to see what's been thickening up over this week's Barack's Crock.
The hard part, Kimberly, is pronouncing what she actually does. Did you see that?
Yeah, she's just a certified ENT.
Oh, it says otolaryngologist.
Oh, that's what I wanted you to fumble through.
I just did. There you go. Wish granted.
But up first, in our Back to Life segment, we have patient Joseph Boltersdorf on the phone, and he's calling from Virginia. So thank you for being here to speak with us today, Joe.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Why don't you start off by telling us what type of pain that you suffered from and kind of how long, and then walk us through that process. What types of treatments you sought out, and then how you ended up at the Bonati Spine Institute.
Sure. For over 30 years, throughout most of my Air Force military career, and then post-career in corporate life and so forth, I had suffered rather severely with a lot of neck pain, pain in my arms and my hands that emanated from the neck problems. And I had sought help while I was still on active duty many years ago, and saw a very good neurologist in Orlando, Florida, because I was stationed in Cocoa Beach area at that time. And he did a top-to-bottom check of me and told me that I had spinal stenosis, that I had spurs, that I had several other problems that were going to get worse as I got older.
And Joe, what did these come from? Did you?
That's a great question. I still do not know to this day what caused the problems, and nobody was ever able to tell me what they thought might have caused it. So I really have no idea. I just know that late in my late teens, early 20s, actually early to mid 20s, I started to feel a lot of pain, and I attributed it to, sitting at desks for long hours and so forth, and being, kind of immobile position. So I thought it was more, neck pain that you treat with aspirin or something. Just because I was, even though I was a very active person, my work days that were pretty long were pretty sedentary.
Yeah, Joe, and Joe.
I got the diagnosis, and then I left about a week later for Italy, and the neurosurgeon said, get physical therapy when you get over there. Well, when I got to my assignment in northern Italy, we had just a clinic, not a hospital, and they said, well, we don't have a physical therapist, so you'll have to live with it, which I'd already been doing anyway. So I just kind of popped a lot of aspirins, and Motrin were kind of the drugs of choice at that time, just to try to take some of the edge off the pain, but it never took it away. So I really kind of learned to live with it over the years. When I came back to the States, I did start physical therapy, and it helped a little bit. I was doing traction and so forth, and that actually seemed to make it worse. So I stopped that and then started seeing chiropractors, which did help alleviate some of the pain, but it was very short term. I'd feel great for a couple of days, and then it was right back to same pain as I had before. So I was treating symptoms for many, many years, and I just kind of learned to live with it and tolerate it. Well, in the last couple of years, I started to have a lot more severe pain in my hands and my arms, and then last year I found that I was not able to pick up things with heavy things with my left arm, and by heavy things I mean a pot of water even. And so I started to get worried, and I thought, this is getting worse, not better, and I need to do something. So I started doing research on what could be done. So I saw several general practitioners who recommended that I go see spine specialists and so forth, which I did. And the solutions that I was given were extremely highly invasive, and recovery time was long, and then no guarantees for long-term cure of the problems and the symptoms, and that subsequently some of the surgeries might require or aggravate situation with the vertebrae and so forth, that I'd have to have other surgeries in the future. So I didn't like any of those answers. So I started actually looking around the globe. I found some research that a university in Manchester was doing in England, a couple of hospitals and research centers in Germany and so forth. And I'm thinking, wow, that's going to be a heck of a commute to even look into some of these possibilities. And my wife said, have you looked in the States? And I said, yes, but everything that keeps coming up is highly invasive, and this is the only solution kind of thing. And she found Bonati Institute online, and she said, you're just not a good searcher online, so take a look at
Let me
Bonati.
look.
So I did, started looking at it, and I was amazed at how different the solution was than what I had been able to find in my previous research. And so I contacted the Institute and got a very nice call back the next day asking, some very detailed questions about, well, what are you experiencing, how long, and so forth. And then I had already had an MRI done at two different spine specialists, and so I had those MRIs sent to me, and I forwarded them, and then Dr. Grossmith called me the next day, and we spoke for a good length of time, and I was really impressed with the focus on me as a patient and what I was experiencing, and not what I had been experiencing with some of these other folks that were focused on, well, here's the solution, we're going to do all of these things. And this approach at Bonatti was, let's look at what your problems are, let's take it one step at a time, and I believe we can help you. And I was convinced, so I told my boss in December, count me gone. In January, I'm going to get this fixed. I'm tired of this. I can't stand it anymore. It's affecting my work. It's affecting my life. It's affecting my disposition with other people. I feel miserable all the time. For 30-some years, I woke up with bad headaches every single day, and I had accepted that, and I thought, there's no reason to be accepting this. I've got to try something.
Joe, that's an interesting point that you bring up, because so many of the patients that we talk to, both on the radio program and on American Medicine Today television program, most of the patients we talk to have traditional back issues. Dr. Bonatti, we know that you can help people that are having issues with headaches, neck aches, the pain that Joe's telling us about that goes down in his arms, into his hands. This seems like a little bit, quite a bit different case than most of the people we've talked to. Is it the same type of relief to the nerve that you address? This is so different. I kind of like to get your diagnosis here.
Yeah, the procedure is similar. The concept is to try to eliminate any pressure on the nerve. Usually somebody with 30 years of pathology will have a lot of deformity on the canal, so you need to carve the nerve out from that area so it will perform normally again. And that's what probably happened to him.
To Joe, yeah. Well, interesting. So basically, we're coming up on a break here, Joe. We got about 2 minutes left. So pick it back up. Where were we at? You had the procedure, or you were about to actually have the procedure. Can you kind of at least give us a teaser of what that was like before we take a break, and then get an update on where you are today? Start with the procedure itself.
I made all the arrangements, and my wife drove me down to Florida. We did the pre-op, and we were right into the surgery. My second business day down there, and the very first thing that really hit me, was after my first surgery, and I still had 3 more to go. We thought maybe more than that. But the first day after my first surgery was the first day in over 30 years that I woke up and didn't have a splitting headache and didn't feel like, oh, my God, I'm afraid to lift my head off the pillow. And that was post-op. So I thought
amazing.
This can only get better.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual procedure itself, Joe, did you do the conscious...
IV sedation?
I always forget what that's called.
You were awake, aware, alert, pain-free. But you were in constant communication with the doctor, correct?
You were able to tell the doctor where the pain was and allow him to locate where the pain was, correct?
Exactly. I was amazed with that, because even though everything had been explained to me, to actually then be in that situation and say, hey, we're walking through this together, I was just amazed. And even today, since I've been back and singing praises of my experience at Bonatti, people that look at me and say, really, that's how it happened? I said, yeah, I was awake. And they're thinking excruciating pain. And I said, no, it was a walkthrough to identify exactly where the pain was emanating from and fixing it on the spot. And I was just amazed. I'm still amazed.
Joe, hold that thought, because we're coming up on a break. You are listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970 WFLA. You heard Joe say he was suffering from extreme headaches for 30-some years. So if you suffer from headaches, migraines, back, neck, or leg pain, give the Bonati Spine Institute a call at 855-267-0482 or visit the website at bonatti.com. Coming up after the break, more from Joe. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonatti.com.
All my pain is gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonatti and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thanks for tuning in to American Medicine Today, brought to you by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brumell, alongside world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonatti. We have Ethan Euchre and Jeff Wagstaff here, and before the break, you were hearing Joe Boltersdorf's amazing journey to recovery with the Bonati Spine procedures. He had a lot of neck pain, so he had a lot of cervical procedures to alleviate that pain. And Joe, why don't you tell us more? You were starting to get into the interaction with the surgeon and that it makes for better results. And why don't you kind of take it from there and talk about the recovery time and where you're at now?
Sure. I found that very unique and different, and just an awesome approach to the whole process of being awake. Because I have to say, when I first looked at the video on the website, I thought, wow, they're working around the spine and you're awake. I don't know if I want to do that. Mm-hmm. And of course, the experience was nothing that I had, conjured up in my own mind as far as being concerned about or fearful of, because we were conversing, Dr. Grossmith and I were conversing during it, and he was identifying exactly where, and trying to pinpoint exactly where the pain that I was experiencing was coming from. So, it was interactive surgery, if you will, and I got to watch the procedure too, right, which I thought was really fascinating.
That didn't creep you out at all? That didn't creep you out at all, Joe, watching on a screen your neck being worked on?
It did not. My youngest daughter wanted to study to be a doctor when she went to college, and she and I spent 4 hours gaping down into open heart surgery, man's chest, watching him get open heart surgery. So that didn't bother me at all. It does creep out some people when I tell them about it, but I tell them that, hey, all I saw on that screen was getting better and feeling better, and I was at a point in my life that something had to be done, and I was ready to try almost anything, but not some of the extremely invasive solutions that I was being given, because I didn't see that as anything with an end result. It was a temporary fix, maybe for a year or two, and then I could count on having to do follow-up surgeries and such as a result of some of those more invasive processes. So,
Joe, you had a total of 3 procedures done at the Bonati Institute, correct?
No, I had 4.
4 over the course of a week, 10 days?
It was, let's see, we did the first 2. We did 2 the first week, and we did the second 2 the second week. Did within 10 days, within 10 business days, if you will. We started from pre-op the first business day, and at the end of the second week, I was doing post-op and getting a clean bill of health, if you will. So
after 4 procedures in 2 weeks, tell us how you felt.
I felt wonderful with regards to the problems that I was experiencing. As I mentioned before the break, the first day after the first surgery, I woke up, and of course I had the stiffness and such that comes with having any kind of surgery, but I didn't have that headache, and I was just absolutely amazed that I didn't have that headache, and I think that was because we started with the most severe area of pain that I was experiencing, and then we worked from there. So it just got better and better after each surgery. But the other thing that I was amazed with in the process was that even though when we looked at the initial MRI results and the X-ray results, Dr. Grossmith and his team and myself, it wasn't, we're going to do X number of surgeries. It was, we're going to start here, we're going to see how you feel, we're going to go to the next one, we're going to see how you feel. So it was a progressive process to where I thought initially I might have to have 8 surgeries, or 7 at least, And when we got to 4, I was feeling great. And
How long's it been
Dr.
since the
said,
4 surgeries,
okay,
Joe?
Well, then we're done since you're feeling great. And if you have other problems that emanate from some of these other areas that we appear to have also fixed in the process, then I would come back. But I was really impressed with that process, that it was a step-by-step with the doctor and very specific. Where are you feeling the pain now, and where are you feeling the pain?
So, Joe, let's take us to how you feel today. Where are you at? You still pain-free?
I am. I'm 100% pain-free from the problems that I had. I'm still going through some of the post-op pain, but it's negligible compared to what I was feeling before, and it's to be expected because, like I said, I had 4 surgeries. So
sure.
As long as I behave myself and follow the regimen that I was given in terms of exercise and not overdoing it, the healing process is just coming along great, and I'm a million times better than I was when I first went to the institute.
Well, that's
fantastic.
And none of that pain that I had experienced in my hands and my arms and my neck, the headaches and everything. I don't have any of that.
Well, that's great. All right. Well, another success story, and I'm sure you're back to work. Joe, by the way, if you didn't know, is the president and CEO of Right Path Resumes and Consulting. So pretty cool to have you back to work, I'm sure, pain-free. And,
it is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. You guys are definitely on my Christmas list.
There you go. Dr. Bonatti wants. What do you want for Christmas, Dr. Bonatti? I don't want to put him on the spot.
Continued good health.
All right, yes. Joe. Well, thanks for joining us on American Medicine today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, sir.
Thank you. You too. Thank
you.
Much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Another success story. We're coming up on another break here, but I definitely at least want to bring on briefly before we break Dr. Elaina George, who's a board-certified otolaryngologist. I knew I was going to mess that up.
ENT?
ENT?
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so Dr. George, I know you had you're going to prescribe the cure for an ailing Obamacare, and we've got Dr. Bonatti here who needs to turn his mic on in order to join in the conversation. He has some staunch opinions on the topic, so I think this is going to be a lively one. Are you able to hang out for just a couple of minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
No
Perfect.
Very good. So I'll put you on hold, and with less than a minute left, Kimberly, how do people get in touch with the Bonati Spine Institute?
Well, they can visit the website at bonatti.com. We are located at 7315 Hudson Avenue, so at the corner of US 19 and Hudson. And otherwise, they can give a call at 855-267-0482. Feel free to send in your CT scan or films for a complimentary review. We are so interested to talk to Dr. George because she calls it like she sees it, and she's going to give that insider's view of what it's really like to practice medicine on the front line. We're going to hear more from her after the break. You are listening to American Medicine Today on News Radio 970, WFLA.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonatti.com.
All my pain is gone. Gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonatti and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for joining American Medicine Today, brought to you by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brumell, along with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon of the Bonati Spine Institute, Dr. Alfred Bonatti, Ethan Euchre, and Jeff Wagstaff. Also on the line, we have Dr. Elaina George. She calls it like she sees it and gives us that insider's view of what it's really like to practice medicine on the front lines.
Yeah, I've actually had Dr. George on the morning show on WFLA, our flagship station here in Tampa, and she's very good. Her interest in the politics of healthcare as well as the reform effort has led her to become a pretty powerful voice for the practicing physician and an advocate for the patient. And it's a pleasure to have you, Dr. George. How are you this afternoon?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on.
I know Jeff had a quote of yours that he found very intriguing.
Dr. George, in the
Your mic.
bioinformation. Oh, in the bioinformation we received from you, it quoted you, and I really like this. In short, the healthcare system is breaking into a two-tiered system. Those who are relegated to Obamacare will be trapped in a system which locks them out of the very best health care that our country has to offer, while those who can will simply afford to opt out.
It's true.
Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely true.
She's like, all right, interview over. That's it.
Well, it says you have the prescription for the cure to Obamacare. I'm anxious to see what you're writing.
Yes.
Well, let's start from the beginning. I mean, I think that this has been a PR campaign that's been, superimposed on the American public, where they were told that if you don't have health insurance, you're going to die. That's basically it's been driven by fear. It's been driven by misinformation. And anybody who practices medicine and actually has to make a payroll and actually has to follow the business side of it just as much as the medical side knows that the insurance market is actually stepped in between the doctor and the patient and is costing the patient and the healthcare system more money, not less. And I have patients who actually have health insurance and can't afford to use it. And under Obamacare, that only gets worse. So they took the worst parts of our healthcare system and they doubled down on it. They gave the power to corporate interests, in my opinion, and corporate interest means that the individual gets trumped. The doctor and the patient relationship gets stepped on. And it's all about cost control. And people will find out, I think they're already finding out, that they may carry a policy, but either they've lost their doctor or they really can't even afford to see their doctor at this point. And I find it really disingenuous that they're talking about the decrease of healthcare costs, when in actuality it's really because people can't afford to go to use their health care. And that's really sad.
Dr. George, what do you mean by that? People have insurance, but they can't afford to use it.
It's all about the deductible. When I first opened my practice in 2001, people would have insurance and they have to pay zero out of pocket. They present their insurance card and everything was great. Now they have to pay upwards of $10,000 as their deductible and coinsurance before the insurance kicks in.
But they have low premiums, correct? Supposedly?
No, actually they don't necessarily. Now they have $400,000 premiums, on top of the out of pockets. So the premiums have actually only risen every year since I've been in practice. My reimbursements every year have dropped. and the patient is now more so than ever on the hook to pay out of pocket, even though they carry health insurance.
Not
And
only
what
that,
means
Dr.
is that
George.
they're not doing things that they need to do, and I can't offer the proper services anymore.
Right.
Well, Dr. George, not only that, what you're saying is absolutely true, but the cheapest Obama care, the one that they call bronze, and they had advertisement that's going to cost around $5 a month. If you go and you look at the small letters, these people need to pay $20,000 a year. So this is a joke. And the fraud to the American public and to the patients is incredible. What I don't understand is why the physicians don't stand up and then massively refuse to take any governmental patient.
I absolutely agree with you. I'm actually one of those doctors. I don't accept Medicaid or Medicare anymore in my practice, and it was an evolution. I just didn't do it out of hand. I was forced to do it. And I don't think patients understand that when you take government insurance, you are actually basically a felon until you're proven otherwise. If you underbill somebody, if you don't charge them everything you can, that's fraud. If you code incorrectly, that's fraud. And they changed the policy this year, so it's considered to be willful. You have to prove that it was a mistake. So by the time you keep looking over your shoulder as to whether you've run afoul of Medicare or not, you're just exhausted and you're frightened. And it's a matter of being put out of business or maybe put in jail, because if you underbill or commit fraud, in their opinion, 3 times, first couple times is $25,000 per occurrence. The third time is jail. I can't afford emotionally or economically to do that. And a lot of doctors, and I agree with you, if we would have stood up at the beginning of this, when people were putting value on our services, the insurance companies stepped in and basically told us, if you don't join health insurances, you won't get patients. And doctors fell into the trap from that point. And now it's only been downhill since then.
Well, you know something,
regulations.
I really think this is an opportunity. Like everything in the world, every time when I see something that is negative, I never look at the negativity. I always look at the opportunity. I really think we should go ahead and organize a group of a new type of American medicine, because the American Medicine Association is totally in shambles. They are politicians, number one. They only represent 17% of the population of physicians. We should create a new American Medical Association or something similar, but this time with a total responsibility of the constituency. They should pay a certain amount of maybe $10 belong. Every physician there needs to have some type of a approval to become a member, but they need to be every doctor involved in that. The beauty of that will be that we'll have the power back. We'll be able to negotiate with the insurance company in a certain way that we get our patients back, and we'll get the politicians. And every politician should be tracked to be able to have term limits. We need to put term limits to the political system. So these guys that they go and present in the market individuals that they are going to live for 30 or 40 years in the political arena, they become corrupted at the second year and they live free for the rest of their life. These people need to be passing a law that they need to live with. And that way you will see that things are going to change. We need to change the system, and the political system needs to be elected for 4 years every time. And if it is really good, another 4 years, and then they need to go home. This is the only way that we can correct this corruption. But physicians need to control also the insurance company. We need to evaluate the insurance company. We need to put colors in the insurance company. This insurance company is green. We accept this insurance company. It's good for the patients. It's good for the doctors. This is yellow, is borderline. You start to create problems with the physicians or with the patients. We are watching you. This is red. No physician should take that insurance company. You will see how fast it will change.
Dr. George, I just have a question. You know, they call it Obamacare. So where is the care that's part of this shenanigan that we call the Affordable Health Care Act, because it's neither care nor is it affordable for those that are in it. And if we can't repeal the entire thing, what important parts need to be removed?
I disagree. It needs to be refused. Everything.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Dr. Bonatti's feel is the whole thing should just be done away with. But the reality of it is, if it can't be, God forbid it cannot be,
what can we do to save it?
What parts
or fix
have to be eliminated?
You know, I've come to a turning point because I've evolved. I used to think that we needed to depend on the government, the Congress, to repeal this. And I've changed my mind. I think that we as doctors and patients, like Dr. Bonatti mentioned, we have the power to change this without Congress. It's about withdrawing your consent, voting with your pocketbook. There's a whole separate medical industry of free market medicine that exists, that has existed, and that's thriving right next to what's going on under Obamacare, but people have no idea. They've been sold a bill of goods about if you don't have health insurance, you can't afford health care. It's not true. Honestly, if you don't, in this day and age, if you don't access your health insurance, it's actually cheaper. And that's where the two-tier medical system is now actually coming online. Those who enter the insurance market and pay all this deductible nonsense are actually getting lower quality care. Their doctors have a yoke on them, their costs are exorbitant, and their choices are driven by the insurance company because they get to decide what's medically necessary. But on the flip side, it's not the case.
But why is it that we have insurance companies telling us what's medically necessary, and those that are truly skilled and have gone through the training to know what's medically necessary falls by the wayside?
Follow the money. I mean, this is all because they hold the purse strings. The patient has ceded their power to the insurance company as soon as they pay a premium. The insurance company gets to decide what their care is. When you hold your own pocketbook and your own purse strings, you get to decide that. And doctors are in a position, those of us who are independent, who aren't on the staff or on the payroll of a hospital, and actually can decide, you know, from a free market perspective what we charge and what we're willing to, you know, give you as discounts. That's the market that people need to know about because that's where it's cheaper. I mean, I live in Atlanta and I practice here, and I can send patients to surgery centers if they pay fee-for-service out of pocket, 70% discount. I can send them to urgent care centers where it's $135 flat fee run by board-certified ER doctors, which trumps what they're going to pay in the hospital and get seen by a PA or a nurse practitioner. So we're now seeing an evolution of quality. And you have to pay for what you get.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest about that. But you would be surprised how little it costs to actually take your power back. And there's actually, under Obamacare purposes, health sharing ministries. That's the umbrella. There's Samaritan, there's Liberty Health Share, which is non-denominational. You don't have to be Christian.
Dr. George, I hate to interrupt, but we're up against a hard break here.
Okay.
I'm assuming we can even have you back on again because you have some very valid points. The fight rages on. If you want to hear more from Dr. Elaina George, it's drelainageorge.com. Thanks for joining us on American Medicine Today this afternoon.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Dr. George.
And you are listening to American Medicine Today. Join us after the break. We'll have more of what's new in American Medicine Today and Brock's Crock. Stay tuned.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonatti.com.
All my pain is gone, gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonatti and your host, Kimberly Brummel.
You are listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brummel, joined by world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonatti, Ethan Euchre, and Jeff Wagstaff. Now, for those of you that are in the area and want to head out to Sarasota, we have a seminar that's going to be on Saturday, March 29th. And it starts, doors open at 9 a.m., and then the actual seminar starts at 10. We're going to have one of the featured surgeons, Dr. Uteg, there, along with Dr. Grossmith. So come on out to the Sarasota Regency 1000 Boulevard of the Arts.
Very cool.
Join us there. And now I think it's time to check in to see what's new in American medicine today.
Let's look at what's new in medicine today, featuring Alfred Bonatti, MD.
It's all you.
Well, Dr. Elaina George just warmed me up a little bit. What the sucker punch for the middle class is Obamacare. 300,000 people in California lost their license on the insurance. In Alabama, the cost of the insurance went 100 times the cost.
Wow.
In Washington state is 80% higher. The premiums are so high, but at the same time, the amount of access to physicians in hospitals is extremely short. So doctors, 66% of the physicians are leaving any type of governmental health care. So they are resigning Medicaid, they are resigning Medicare, and they are not going to touch Obamacare. So they're going to have very bad care, very poor care, long lines, and probably they're going to go back to find insurance in a decent way. The lie of Obama with this $2,500 decrease in the cost for every household turn really, in reality, is 300 times higher. The cheapest Obamacare plan, that is the bronze, is offered by one of the companies, and they advertise on the front, Obama advertised on the front, like it's going to cost $5 a month. What a joke. This is an utter fraud. Look at the small letters and read it, because it's going to cost you $20,000 a year. 5 million people already cancel in the country are being canceled their insurance. And we have a perspective that 7 million people is going to be losing their insurance that they have actually insurance by their employers. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that is going to happen when you have an employer that start to see that there's not incentive to offer, there's not tax incentive to offer a service, an insurance to their employee. Mm-hmm. Well, what they're going to do is two things. First, or they are not going to offer. Mm-hmm. And to do that, they are going to get to a situation where they're going to lower their employment, full-time employers mm-hmm. to around 39. So they are not going to offer insurance. And if they are in a situation that they have more than 100 employees and they need to offer, what they are going to do, they're going to bring the whole thing at part-time. Mm-hmm. So they're going to make millions of people that they are going to lose their 40 hours salaries, and they are going to be in 39 hours or less. Now, this is what is really terrifying. Virginia, the University of Virginia just issued a study. And the study is what happened with patients that they are under a governmental type of a program. And they picked up the Medicaid. Mm-hmm. Now, with the Medicaid, if you are in a Medicaid program and you have a crucial situation and you are going to have a surgery that is a major surgery, the possibilities to die in comparison to a private insured person is 93%.
You're kidding.
Wow. 93% of the people that they are being treated in Medicaid. Mm-hmm. And why is that? Very simple. The good doctors are out for these programs. Mm-hmm. The mediocrity is there, and you pay for. So, guys, go to government and be served well.
And that's a look at what's new in medicine today with Alfred Bonatti, MD.
To start off this week's Brock's Crock, we talk about Obamacare. The law was passed using misrepresentation and deceit, and we were sold a package of untruths. Misrepresentation typically refers to a statement by a party to a contract that induces another party to enter into the contract, which is interpreted as false or untrue. And it's got to be both false and fraudulent in order to make the party liable for damages. And it is false. It was untrue and fraudulent. They, and the White House Democrats knew. Aren't most members of Congress attorneys? So what did they do to us? Who in their right mind signs blank papers or signs documents that aren't read? Aren't attorneys and representatives, our fiduciaries, supposed to be knowledgeable in what's in it so they can advise us appropriately before we commit to signing them? Isn't it outrageous? And why did our elected fiduciaries sign on the dotted line for this sort of inappropriate behavior? How did America allow this to happen? In everyday life, what would happen if we were victims of verbal fraud? And that was obvious. Wouldn't we be suing them? Mm-hmm. Seems like a Ponzi scheme to me. Empty promises and lies and little truth. A pyramid. It only works if you keep more people paying in. But the rest of us, unfortunately, are having to pay for it. It's kind of a forced form of socialism that isn't good for America. So if we let the states that support it on the far left, you have nobody to blame but yourselves.
Hear, hear. Couldn't you see Kimberly on Fox News? She's the pretty blonde. She's got all of these, statements and things that she wants to say. I know some people. We'll get you in there, Kimberly.
All right.
Well, that pretty much does it for this edition of American Medicine Today.
Of the radio show. Keep in mind, Saturday evening, 7 to 7:30. Tune in to WFTS ABC 28. Check us out. You can reach out to the Bonati Spine Institute to take care of your headaches, neck, back, or leg pain. 855-267-0482. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week at noon on News Radio 970 WFLA.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonatti.com.
All my pain is gone. Gone. Gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now.
Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful. I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.